Hey guys, sorry I had some technical difficulties there for a second. Now we're live. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you for waiting a few minutes. So now we're gonna get started right away. Uh, my apologies for this. So anyways, let's get started. So first of all, turn off your cell phones, all distractions. Just make sure that we're paying attention to this so you get the most out of it. My goal here today is to make sure that you guys get the best value, okay? That you can apply this to your restaurant and you get these strategies and you can start applying them right away. All right, so who am I? If you guys don't know me, been here in the hospitality business for over 19 years or I don't even know. It's since 2005 and opened a few restaurants, own operated restaurants, and was part of a partner and head of marketing for a large hospitality group in Florida. And I did that for a long time. So I know marketing really well because I had to figure it out. So anyways, been doing this. Now we work with restaurants across the US and we help them with their marketing. Now specifically today, we're going to talk about private events, but yeah, that's what it is. Cool. So if there's a book also, if you're interested, called the Restaurant Marketing Insider, I grab a copy of that. I lay out a bunch of cool strategies there. Anyways, all right, so let's talk about this. So why are private events a gold mine and why most people miss out? So the thing is, as you know, if you're here, you're interested in private events, it's a big ticket item, right? So the revenue potential with private events is huge. Some restaurants, up to 30% of the revenue is private events, right? It just depends, of course, of location and things like that. We have a few clients actually that do that because they might not be in a high traffic location, but they do a ton of events because they have beautiful spaces, right? And they have that to their advantage. So more predictable income, of course, guys, if you're trying to, right now, especially with this economy, there's less traffic, right? So with private events, high ticket, more predictable income, and you can control the cost, as you know, right? Food cost, labor cost, very different. Repeatable business, of course, once you lock them in, let's say if it's a corporate client and they're used to having an event with you, let's say on a regular basis, let's say whatever they're doing presentations or breakfast that they do once a month or something like that, then that's repeatable business. So again, the capacity there or the potential there to make this a huge revenue stream is there, right? And some restaurants sell quite a bit. All right. So what is the reason that you're losing so many leads, right? And I'll give you a real example in actually one of our restaurants that really the close rate for all the leads that we were getting, and mind you, these were from the website, we're not talking even about ads. The conversion rate or close rate was about 10%, max 15%. We're like, man, what the heck's going on? Something's broken here. There's somebody dedicated, for private events. So there was an events manager, mind you. Yes, she was handling multiple restaurants, so that's not that easy. So what's happened, right? So what's happening, guys, is that in the restaurant industry, there is only the bigger groups. They might have a sales manager position that they're in charge only of following up with leads for private events, or if it's an event venue, they'll have somebody like that. Yeah, but with restaurants, usually it's either an events manager or maybe it's the GM that's handling the inquiries. So there is no formal training when it comes to sales. Yeah. So what's happening is slow response times. So the lead comes in, right? Comes through your website, usually an email. Maybe some people do have an event management software like Triple Seat or Perfect Venue or any of those. And so the lead will come into there, go into that platform. And then maybe they'll have an automated email that goes out. And that's about it. Yep. And then usually response time, and when you talk to every restaurant owner, they'll tell you, it's usually, or GM, they'll tell you, it's usually between 24 hours, maybe a little bit more, it depends if they're busy. So that's what happens. So the stats are crazy. If you take that long to respond, your chances of closing that sale are very slim. Now, if they really want to host an event with your restaurant, they might wait and they'll do it. But most of the times they're shopping around. So if you don't respond quick enough, and especially now, as you guys know, we're living in a day that we want everything for yesterday, then you'll lose that lead. And then, we were asking ourselves, like, why were we losing those leads? I mean, our response time sucked. And then also there was no system. There was no structured follow-up system. There was no training systems in place for sales. Yeah. And also, so we were just kind of, okay, how do we do this? This person is already spread thin. How can we fix it? Okay. So this is also a chart here that you can see of the follow-up chain on what does that look like? Where's the failure? So like I said, somebody goes to your site, or maybe they go to one of your, I don't know, your social or wherever, and they submit a form, or they just request information for a private event. And what happens is there an automated response? Like I said, maybe some people have it, some people don't have it. And then so they're just kind of waiting there for somebody to respond. And so the other thing is, like I said, there's no accountability because the position is usually an events manager. And this is nothing against events managers. They do a fantastic job. What I'm saying is it's the structure, right? So there's no accountability because, okay, this person handles the events, meaning, okay, the events come in, she sends the menus, she organizes the room, she organizes the whole thing. But when it comes to the actual sales part, it's like, she doesn't really have the time. And she sometimes, there many times they're spread thin. So there's no training, no system, right? So that's what happens. So it's like they're accountable for delivering, but not really accountable for the sales process, right? So that's where the issue happens. So no CRM or pipeline happens many times, right? Because they don't even have, many restaurants don't have a platform that they're using. Again, and so they just get emails, right? So somebody submits a form, they go to they get an email, and then they're, responding to that email. And sometimes if they have more emails, they can even, miss it. They won't see it, right? So let's talk about how can we fix this? What is the problem? We already described the problem, okay? So now what we need to do is create a system, okay? So now there's three parts or three pillars, I would say, to building a complete system for private events. And this is with most businesses, but with private events, this is the way it is. So one thing is lead generation, right? Let's say if you're getting already, a good number of inquiries, great. Of course, you can maximize that, and we'll talk about this in a second. So first, getting people interested, right? The second one is lead capture, meaning once you get the lead coming in, you got to capture it. Okay, where's it going? Are you getting an email? I advise against that because you can miss it very easily, okay, or whoever's managing this, especially if you're a GM. Now, the last part, three pillar, is the conversion, and that's what we were just talking about. Now, the follow-up, what's going to happen there? Because once you get the lead, what does that process look like? How fast are you following up? How fast are you providing the information? How structured is your whole system when it comes to your menus, your pricing? Do you have clear on what you have to, what you have to know in order to answer everybody's questions for private events? Is the person that's responding trained? Okay, so all of these things have an impact on lead conversion. Yep. Now, let's get into the first pillar. And then we're going to talk about the last one, which is fixing that whole broken system, which you may have now. But this is also super important. Okay, so optimized private events page. I see a lot of restaurants that have great spaces, guys, and they don't even have nice pictures of their spaces or they don't have menus or any of that stuff that they're showcasing on the restaurant. And most importantly, they don't even have a form. They will have an email there that you need to email, right? Or they'll have a phone number which you need to call, which is going to be even less effective. Yeah. So the first thing is having that presence because people are going to search online for that. Okay. So let me just show you a quick example here. I'm going to share my screen so you can see an example of a nicely designed private events page. Okay. Let me see. You guys can see my screen here. Okay. Cool. There's a restaurant in Florida. It has a virtual tour, super cool, so that you can see like all the spaces and everything that they have. Mind you, these guys don't even have fully private spaces, but it's a big space, so you can section it out and you can do great events here. Yeah, see the form above the fold, it should be here, right? There's different ways of structuring this, but it has all the information. See, it has that space, it has all the different capacities, it has information on that, it has information on the main dining room, it has information on the other rooms, right? It has all that info. So this is just an example, again, of a nicely done page. Now, let me go back here. Cool. So that's, again, and just a quick example of how you can structure a landing page in your website for private events. If you have a virtual tour, that's fantastic. If you have those spaces, because people really like to look at, they really want to see what the event, what it's going to look like. You can even improve on this page. You can add actually pictures of past events, so people can really see what it would be like to celebrate at your venue. So the more you add, of course, tastefully, the better, right? All that information. If they have enough information there to make a decision and submit a form, that's what you want to make sure of. Yeah, and it's going to also facilitate your sales process because they already know what you have to offer in many ways. Okay. Now, 4 walls, not to be missed. Okay, because many times, and I've seen this with our own restaurants as well, it wasn't the focus, right? Yes, we were getting private events, people booking lunches and breakfast and all that stuff that we had at this restaurant, but but we weren't really promoting it inside the four walls. It's like, man, okay, this is now it's a focus. We need to. This is a main revenue stream. How can we maximize it? Okay, so first thing, of course, train your team. Make them add it to the steps of service. So when they come in to the restaurant, they should be making it part of the conversation. Sometimes they might feel awkward or whatever it is, but there's a way of talking about it. Yeah. Now, you can add it to your menu as well in that section, tastefully in your menu that talks about private events. Just a little blurb there. Yeah, showcase your private event spaces also when empty. Let's say there's no events that are booked. Hey, if you have closed doors, open them up, set the event space nicely so people, when they walk by, they can see a beautiful space. Sometimes, I mean, you'd be surprised. I don't know if it's happened to you, but sometimes I've walked into restaurants that I didn't even know they had private event spaces, right? Because they're just, you can't see them. The door is closed, and I'm just assuming it's something else. Yeah. So it's important to showcase that. Yep. Now, use signage strategically as well. Like if you're using table tents or whatever it is, listen, I mean, some restaurants are not great for table tents, but some others, it's fine. You can put it there and just, talk about private events. Take on delivery bags. Just include a little blurb there so people can see it. Yeah. And then, if there's big moment celebrations or whatever, like open it up so people can see, right? It just creates a whole experience there. And then last is the tip, just listen, you can run a mock event with your team, set it up nicely so they can see what it looks like. And so it's easier for them to sell it. Okay. So a couple of things there. Now, referrals, that's another way of adding more leads. And this is overlooked quite a bit, right? Because man, a referral, how do I set that up? Okay, so let me just give you a quick example of what you can do at your restaurant. Yeah. So host a referral celebrate again campaign. So when someone books a private event and refers a friend who also books, they both get rewarded, right? So that's just a quick example. You can structure this however you want. You will know better than me depending on your operation. But listen, it's pretty simple. So once you have this system in place, and how you're going to do it is you already have a customer database, right? Of all the people that have booked events with you. Hopefully you do. If they're scattered in a spreadsheet or whatever, you can still pull that data and then send an email to these guys. Now you can automate this whole thing and make it a lot easier. But you just create this system, the referral program, right? The incentive. What is it going to be? And then you send that out, yeah, to your database so they can refer friends. Especially, it works really well with corporate clients because they know other people that do business as well, and other people that work in different offices, right? So that is gold there if you do it properly. Yeah. Now, another idea. Your database, and this is what we see a lot, is they're using, let's say they're using an event software, or you just have all this database of past events, but they're just sitting there. Nobody looks at it. Maybe those contacts are added to your email marketing list where you send promotions and stuff like that, but it's not being leveraged to create more leads for private events. You're not really communicating with those past guests. Yeah. So one way of taking advantage of this and to really get the best out of it is to do what we call a database reactivation campaign. So what you do is identify the past guest, right? Then create a timely reason to reach out, because you got to come up with an excuse to reach out, right? So right now, for example, we did one for graduation season. Yeah, always with seasons, it's pretty easy. Or if it's Mother's Day or whatever it is that's coming up, then you have an excuse. You can say, hey, John, as you know, this is Sebastian from Novecento, let's say, and I know that you celebrated an event with us, or you did that. But do a little bit of research, right? But you did an event with us, and in the past, so graduation season is around the corner. So if you have any event needs, we're here. Something like that. Whatever you want to say, right? But make it a soft pitch, so it's not something like a strong cold outreach that will feel weird, right? But make it personalized. Also coming from you, coming from your events team, or from the events manager, or from the GM, or from you, the owner, wherever it is, right? But if it feels personal, that you really care, and you draft it in that way, believe me, you will get a lot of responses. I'm going to show you some case studies in a second. Yeah. Okay. Now, that is it when it comes to lead generation. Yeah. Now, of course, the other one is paid ads. We're going to get into that. That's to really maximize your lead generation, and you can get a ton of leads that way. But again, if you don't we got to fix the systems first, and then to be able to bring in the more leads. Yeah. Okay. So now lead capture. This is the next stage. Now, this might seem like a no-brainer for many of you, right? It's like, yeah, of course, I'm getting the emails or yeah, they're going into my triple seat account or whatever it is. Okay, yeah, that's fine. But the next stage is, are you organizing them? Are you really keeping track of them in a neat way, right? So you can know at what stage each person is in the sales pipeline, because you know the decisions with these things are not in the moment, right? These decisions take time. You have to send them a menu. You have to send them all the information that they need. And once they evaluate all these options, then they will make that decision. Okay. So we got to remove the friction, have a sales pipeline so you can track where your leads are at any point in time. Now, if you're, again, triple seat or perfect venue are fine. This is just a screenshot of our CRM because it allows you to see what happens throughout the sales process. Okay. Now, next stage is lead conversion. And this is where the whole thing is that we were talking about. The issue is, with the system that's broken. Yeah. So you can have the best leads, right, and the best base, but without fast structured follow-up, they go cold. And that's what happens every single time. So speed to lead, booked events. And guys, this is a statistic that seems very strange, or maybe you're like, or, very, very crazy. Actually got a comment today, it's like, man, that statistic is BS. Say, well, look it up, man. It was a study that was done not just it wasn't done by me, but it's been done by countless, people. There's a Harvard Business Review study on this, and that's the case, especially now, guys, because we live in an age that we want everything done now. Okay, so speed to lead, booked events, follow up within first 5 minutes. If not, 80%, it lowers your chance to convert that lead by 80%. So use a follow-up framework. If you have an SMS platform, depends what system that you're using. But if you can respond quickly, not just through email, but SMS, if you don't have SMS, that's fine. You get in the email, just make sure that somebody's following up with that person quickly. Okay, so mix human and automated touch points, super important. If you can do that, if you can have the systems, so you can send once the lead comes in, get the automated message out so that that person knows that you received that information, that you're going to get back to them. Yep. And so you can, and then also follow up with a call, right? So it's just setting up those standards. Yeah. So always lead with clarity, and then track every interaction that you have, ideally on the CRM. Yeah. Cool. Now, let's get some questions in here, because you might have some questions as we're moving along. We're going to get into a few more things now. Okay. So let me see. One last thing I was going to say about that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it. So questions, guys. Let's see. All right. Yeah, Mark. You're getting a lot of inquiries, but they come through Google. Okay, and sometimes DMs. What's the best way to centralize all those leads without adding more chaos? Okay, yes. So you need to have a system again in place, because if there's inquiries that are coming in through any of those platforms, an easy advice is just build a quick form. You can build a form through, if you're using MailChimp or whatever it is, you can use a form. If it's your website form, you can also get it from your developer, whatever it is. So when somebody requests information, you can respond, of course, to their inquiry if it's a DM or whatever it is, but then send them the link. Yeah, send them a link to that form, because what you want is for them to fill out that form, so then it can go into your CRM, right? We're trying to get everybody there. Now, if that's too cumbersome, yes, of course, you can just grab that lead manually, make sure that you get their information, get their email, phone number, and then add it to your CRM so that you can follow it properly. Yeah. Depends on the volume. Again, if you have high volume, what I would suggest is try to automate the whole process. So then again, any lead that comes in, you can just filter in and send it to your CRM. Okay. Lisa, if you're already slow to respond because of short staff, is automation something we need to fix this? Or can we just train better? Okay. Lisa, yes, 100%. You can definitely make this a lot easier when it comes for automating the responses, and there's different platforms that you can do that with. You can also, now it's of course with AI, you can build AI bots that will be able to respond to the inquiries. Yeah, at least answer the main questions, and I'll show you guys a cool system that we have. But yes, I would automate the process just to get somebody at least like the automated responses, so the person knows that you're there. And once they get that response, like, hey, thank you for submitting your information and your interest in hosting an event with us, our events manager will be getting back to you shortly. And that's that's good enough for now, right? But make sure that right after that, then there's the follow-up happens, because that's where it's at. Okay. Okay, we got one more question. What's the right amount of follow-up before you annoy someone who didn't reply to the first email? Okay, good question, Rob. So that's listen, this is sales, right? Like I said, so if somebody submitted information, it's because they're interested. And what happens many times is that they're busy doing other things. I mean, they made, you know, if they went to your website, they might reply quicker, but that happens. It's a different type of lead. But if you're running ads or if you're doing any of that, the lead comes in and then they get busy doing other stuff. And it's not that they're not interested. It might just not be a high priority for them right now. So at least have a 5 touch point follow-up. Yeah, a 5-step follow-up with any lead that comes in, right? That should be the rule. If you, or 5 or 6, yeah, it just depends. But make sure that you contact that person through different channels. It could be email, text, and call. Yeah, because sometimes people won't respond to emails. Like I said, the inbox is cluttered. It has a bunch of emails, and they might not be even looking at it. Okay? Or they might even think it's spam or whatever it is. So, anyways, make sure that that's at least a 5-step system. I mean, with 5 follow-up system. Yeah. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about how you can supercharge your private event bookings, meanings how do you build, we're going to talk about a system, right? Because now we've talked about the different things that you need to do to build a good system for your restaurant. Now, how can you make this even better? Okay. Now, let's say you have the system in place, the follow-up system in place, the framework. We're going to train your team or your events manager. That person is going to be already trained on how to follow up. Yep. Now you can really go harder on this. Okay. Now, we're going to be generating a ton more leads through Google and Facebook, Instagram ads. Yeah. We're going to be building ads here. And I'm going to walk you through the strategy specific to each type of event, because when people are searching for hosting a private event, it depends on the occasion that they want to host it for, right? So let's say a baby shower, a wedding rehearsal, a bridal shower, maybe it's a corporate event, right? So whatever you're going to do is you're going to structure your campaign and all your ads and information based on all of these different occasions. Okay. So you got to, again, segment by event type, and then you got to target the right audiences. Okay. So we're going to talk right now about social ads that we're going to get into Google, because there's different ones. I'm not going to get into too much detail because I have a whole new, I have an entire presentation or training that we did on that. So you can go to check that one out, but I'm just going to go through this quickly, how to do it. So again, break it up between those different type of occasions. So you're going to segment, you're going to build an audience for each of those different occasions. You're going to do that on social, yeah, on your Facebook business manager, yeah, and you're going to create a custom audience there where you're going, what you're going to do is first is pull all the data, yeah, that you have from your previous customers. That could be your open table list, or that could be if your events management software, or if you have just an email database from other contacts of people that have been to your restaurant, whichever way you collected it, just make sure that you load that up as a custom audience into your Meta or Facebook ads manager. Yeah. So once you have that, what you're going to do is create a lookalike audience over that, because now you're building an audience that's similar to the people that are already visiting your restaurant, because that's your ideal audience. Now you're going to add a layering of targeting to that. I'm going to show you that in a second. Yep. That of interest. So depending on the type of occasion, you're going to add those to that audience. Yeah. If it's a baby shower, there's interest about baby shower. If it's a wedding, you're going to add those. If it's going to be a corporate event, well, that's a little bit more difficult. But you add layering of structured behaviors or interest based on the type of audience that you build. Okay. Here's some examples of that you can check out. Yeah. But this is crucial. If you don't build the right audience, when you're running ads, guys, you're going to show this to the wrong people and your leads are going to suck. Okay. Now, if you do this right, you can get a lot of leads and they're going to be most likely qualified. I'm not going to tell you all of the leads are going to be qualified because I'll be lying, but you're going to get a really good amount of leads that will be qualified. And even if you don't convert into an event right then and there, you're going to have all that data. You're going to be able to market to them later for other stuff that you're doing in a restaurant. And at some point, you're going to get them back for an event. Okay. So super important. Some examples here of social ads. Make sure it speaks to your audience. Make sure that it's specific to that occasion that we're trying to target. Again, like you see here, rehearsal dinners, baby showers, holiday event, whatever it is that you have. Showcase your event spaces, showcase past events. That's the creative that you want to use. Whatever looks, organic or good, depending again on your concept. This place looks fantastic because it's in front of the water. This place, this one works really well because it's showcasing a baby shower at a beautiful space, right? If it's a holiday event, whatever you have, you don't have to have something super professional. Like these things will work for you. Okay. Now for Google, it's very similar structure, meaning you have to break it down by occasions because that's how people search. Best restaurant for baby shower, best restaurant for wedding rehearsal dinner, restaurant for a corporate event. Or maybe they're just looking for generic information like, hey, private dining restaurants or restaurants with private dining rooms. Any of those keywords, you want to get a list of keywords for each of those different ad groups and go to your Google keyword planner, and that's where you can get all the keywords are going to be related for each one of those. Okay. Now, when it comes to the text, guys, then of course now you can use ChatGPT and tell it to give you some awesome Google Ads text. I have some cool prompts that that I can send to you if you're interested. But anyways, that's how you're going to do it. Okay. Make sure that it's structured properly, that it has the right, not only the right information, but again, you can use ChatGPT to help you with this, with creating a copy for these. Yeah. Now, next step is build in mobile optimized landing page. Now, this is something, this is an example of one that we built. We integrate actually the forms from TripleSeat or Perfect Venue into the landing pages, but it needs to showcase the best thing about your restaurant, but it also needs to be focused on each of the specific ad groups. So if it's about baby shower, make sure your landing page is a baby shower. If it's going to be for a bridal shower, it needs to reflect that. Okay, so each occasion, you need to build a separate landing page for each of those occasions. So whenever they click, the person clicks on that ad, let's say I'm interested in a baby shower. When I go to the landing page, I see something about baby showers. Okay, so that's going to make your conversion rate way higher. Okay, so that's how you would structure that. Now, the follow-up, this is what we've been talking about, and how to fix this 70%, right, that we're talking about of leads that are not converting. And this is the thing. Okay, so how do you fix this? We fix it by speed, and that's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it through automations. We're gonna do it through AI, because through AI, now these days, if you do it right, you can have basically somebody, an AI agent responding to those leads, engaging them, and getting them further along the booking process. Yeah, getting them as close as possible to the booking process, where you send them an events, you send them a calendar of your events manager so they can book a call with them, and then they can have a call with your events manager and a sales call. Yeah. But the whole idea here is to be able to answer the questions that they have. You're going to further qualify the leads by replying with the right information. Yeah. And that's how you do it. Mind you, if you have a person that can do this manually, fine, fantastic, because that's what you want, right? If the lead comes in and you have somebody that can immediately reach out to them and get on a call, or reply through text or email, preferably through text, because SMS these days, as you guys know, is a lot more effective, and answer all the questions quickly, the chances of booking that event are way higher. Okay. Mix automation with human follow-up. Like I said, yes, you can get the AI stuff going, which is fantastic. There's different platforms that you can use for this, but also the human interaction is crucial, because you'll get them to a certain point where they're going to be close to a sale, but you still need to talk to them. Yeah. And you still need to, it's hospitality at the end of the day. Yeah. So you need to get in touch with them, send them the information that they need, because they're going to be requesting that information. Even if you have event menus already developed, there's not every event is the same. They might request something custom, as you know, so you need to respond to them, okay, in the way that they request to. Okay, so have a combination of the automated messages that you can set up. Yep. And you can set that up, for example, in TripleSeat, you can set up an automated email that goes out. That's fine. If you're using, if you want automation when it comes to text messaging, there's different platforms, CRM platforms that you can use. HighLevel is one of them, and you can set automated SMS going out for every lead that comes in. You can build a pipeline there that goes inside, like all of these different things that you can do. I know that's a little bit tech involved, so if you need, if you don't have that, then you can hire, of course, the right person to do that for you, and to get it right. Anyways, like I said, use multiple channels. Don't use just, hey, they get an automated email and then you're just following up with email and that's it. Make sure that you're following up by email, you're following up by phone and text message. Yeah, because you have to use all your channels. Yeah, lead with clarity and value, of course, packages, available dates, and then clear CTAs. Like, what's the next thing that I need to do? Okay, now, like I said, engage leads instantly before they go cold. And this is something that we do with our system, guys. what we do is set this up. Once the lead comes in, we engage them automatically with AI or with automations. Yeah, lead comes in, it's like, hey, what's good? We meet and say, thank you for submitting information. This is the events team. And we start the conversation. As you can see here on that screenshot, there's this person already texting back and forth. You have unlimited texting, so you can go into this platform and text back and forth with your guest, with leads. You can go into your phone because we have an app as well, so you can go in there and just text with people back and forth. Again, we make it really easy. We initiate the whole conversation, and once it needs to go to a human, it'll go to a human, and then you can interact. You can interact with them and get them to the right place, yeah, and provide all the information that they need. Okay. And of course, every lead that comes in, make sure that you have a notification. This is what we have set up also for all our clients. There's a lead that comes in. Once the notification comes in, once the lead comes in, we send out an immediate SMS notification and email notification to the person in charge so they can follow up quickly with the lead and have the, of course, the best chances of closing that sale, getting back to them, and with the right information. Okay. Now, lastly is the 5-step framework that you need, or again, for following up with those leads. This is a sales process, like I was talking at the beginning. So if you're going to do this, what you need to do is have a whole system in place of the different touch points where the person in charge is going to be following up with the leads. We built this for our clients. We have already a proven sales follow system, and we do a training also with your events managers, just saying, okay, these are the steps that you need to follow. These are the different touch points. Our system is going to be doing this. This is when you jump in and respond, right? So we make it very easy and seamless for the person that's in charge of responding to the leads to maximize all the conversions that all the leads and maximize them into conversions. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So questions, takeaways, anything else that you guys learned here from everything that I just talked about? Okay, cool. Let me see. Got a couple of questions here, guys. All right. How long does it typically take to start seeing results when you implement this full system? Okay. So give me 1 second, guys. So, okay, we've never emailed past guests. We'll never email past guests about events. What's the best way to reach out without sending sales to your random? Okay, that's the question about the database reactivation campaign. Like I said, it's a soft pitch, so don't do anything that's too salesy, too pushy. You need to make sure that it sounds human-like. And again, have an excuse to talk about something, right? Like I said, if it's Mother's Day or whatever it is, you're just bringing that up casually, yeah. And that's how you do it. There are some prompts that you can use. Again, use ChatGPT to draft this. It's going to help you tremendously. It's going to make it very easy. Okay. Now, how do you make sure that your referral campaigns don't get abused? Okay, like someone trying to game system. Okay, listen, there's some people that are always going to try to abuse the system. And even if you have a referral campaign that people are trying to abuse it, even with like reward systems or any of that stuff, people try to take advantage. But that's okay. Listen, they're not going to be, the majority of people won't do that. So I would not worry about it. If you have a problem once you implement it, then see how you can, fix it. Okay. Jen, is it better to have one landing page for all events or separate ones for things like baby showers, rehearsal dinners, etc.? So yes, Jen, like I was explaining, the best is to have a separate landing page for each of your ad groups, because you want to have cohesiveness of messaging. Meaning, so if I see an ad for baby showers, I want to make sure that when I click, I want to see something about what I clicked about, right? So tell me about baby showers. So at least on your landing page, have an image of a previous baby shower, or maybe a space that looks, great, but have the text that's on top, the headline, talk about baby showers. Yeah. So that's what you want to do. So then the experience is seamless and your conversions are going to be higher. Also, of course, platforms like Google, they'll penalize you if you're not doing that. And your quality score is going to go up if you do that. Also, same in social. Best practices is to do that. Okay, cool. So now let's get into the next part. So this is our private event growth system that we developed, guys. So everything that I just showed you, basically, we do. Yeah, but we automate a lot of these things because, again, we've been building this for a while. So what do we do? Of course, we help you with the 3 pillars that I just discussed before. We help you with the lead generation, yeah, which is attracting all these high intent and high quality leads. And we do that through the paid ad strategy that I just shared with you guys. Again, there's a lot more details to that, but that's what we're doing. We're doing retargeting. We're doing the database reactivation campaigns, that what I just talked about. We do the referral system as well. We automate that whole process also through our platforms to make it really easy and seamless for you guys. So we have a multi-channel way of generating leads for you, in addition to what you already may have just from your website. Yeah, we supercharge this whole thing. Now, lead capture, we centralize everything in one CRM tool. Like I just showed you the screenshot of the CRM, all those leads go into there. We have a sales pipeline with different stages, so you can see where each of the leads that are coming in at each stage of the pipeline. So you always know where they're at, and you know when to follow up. Yeah, we have all the automations built into your system as well, with the AI agent that will be following up for you. We can give it whatever personality you want, anyways, or name that you want, and it'll respond to all your guest inquiries. It'll send menus. It'll book calls for you with your events manager, just to make the process a lot easier and getting them as close as possible to the close. Now, the only step you need to take is once they book a call with you, or once they reach out and you get a message from the AI agent that they want to talk to you, you pick up the phone and talk to them. That's all you need to do. Okay. So besides that, we do integrations with, well, not integrations, we actually embed the custom forms from TripleScan and Perfect Venue into all our landing pages. So all those leads can also be flowing to your system if you already have a system in place. And, but again, we have that. And then on the CRM, again, we have the capacity, not only to, of course, to respond quickly through the AI agents, but also if you jump in and you want to talk to them, you have unlimited text messaging. Yeah, so you can text back and forth with guests. 98% open rate on these. So guys, both go for text messaging, because it's usually where people want to talk. And then you can jump on a call when they're ready. Yeah, so you have all of these features available there. You can book calls. You can, again, send SMS. You can send emails. You can call them from the platform. You can have a mobile app, so you can use it on your phone if you're on the go. We just make it, again, a lot easier for you to get those events, book those events. Yeah, just make it pretty simple. Now, in the lead conversion, of course, like I said, the instant engagement, the instant call booking, the AI sales agent, and the five-step follow-up framework and training. So besides the all of these things that we talked about, we help you fix that 70% with training and a sales follow-up framework that would know it works. If you follow this system, I guarantee you'll be booking a lot of events. Okay. Now, couple of case studies here, guys, of some of our clients. As you can see, these guys, 43 leads in a month, over $16,000 in revenue in event sales. These guys also 47 leads, $21,000 in event revenue. These guys are in Miami. This is a cocktail bar. Just last month, actually, they closed around $10,000 in event sales, 23 leads. Yeah, and this guy, great guy, also he's a GM of the place, and he's handling everything from his phone. Yeah. So these guys in New York City, again, over $18,000 in sales, just an additional incremental revenue from this system. Okay. So who is this for? This is perfect for you if offer private events. Yeah, of course, or at least semi-private event spaces. Like I showed you the other example of that other restaurant. Yeah. If you're doing at least 30K in weekly sales, if you have someone available to follow up with the leads, like I said, we have the AI agents, we have the automations, but at the end of the day, you gotta have somebody, once the lead is qualified and ready to buy, to pick up the phone, or to call them, or to email them, or whatever it is, and to close the sale. Okay, so you have to have somebody that's dedicated to do this. If you don't have anybody to do that, and if you're gonna be dropping the ball with all these qualified leads that you're getting, this is not the right system for you. It's not gonna work. No matter what we do, it's just never gonna work. Okay, and also you have to be open to training, because if you're not open to training and you just want to stick to what you know, then again, it's just not going to be a good fit. Because if you don't follow up the sales training, and you don't implement a good sales follow process, you're not going to be closing the leads. Okay, you're not going to get more bookings. Cool. Now, that is it, guys. If you're serious about booking more private events, then we'll show you how just book a call with me, and I'll show you exactly how the system works with all the whistles and bells and whistles. That's the name of this thing. Anyways, you'll get a free audit, of course, to look at what you're doing right now. We'll give you a full audit of, okay, what are you doing? What do you need to fix? And how can we help you fix it? Okay. And even if you don't book with us, even if you don't decide to work with us, you're still going to walk away with exactly how to improve your current system so you can get more bookings. Okay, cool. So now it's open for questions. All right. Okay, I got questions, Erica. How long does it typically take to start to see results once you implement this? So once we implement this, it takes us 2 weeks to set everything up for you. And now once we turn on those ads, it takes hours really for those leads to start coming in. Yes, now once the leads start coming in, like of course the whole magic happens with the AI agents responding and all that jazz. But it's very quick. Yeah. To start seeing results. Okay, Andrew, we've tried Facebook ads before. We got a lot of junk leads. How do you make sure that quality is there? Okay, like I said, like I was saying, Andrew, the thing here, the most important thing, if you're going to be setting this up for yourself and you're running these ads, the audiences are key. If you're boosting posts and hoping to get good leads, it's going to suck. If you do Facebook lead forms with this stuff, which is like like you just click with your thumb and it pre-fills your information, the leads you're going to get are going to suck. You need to add some friction. Yeah. So besides building the audiences with your database and the custom audiences, and then layering it in targeted, layering interest according to each one of the different occasions, then that's what you need to do. There's a whole training that you can go online or our YouTube channel and check that out. And I get more specific on how to do that, but that's how you do it. And then again, add some friction on your landing pages, make sure that they have, the right information. You can also add a minimum so that when they go to your landing page, they already know and have an idea what's going to cost them. So when they're filling out the form, they already is going to say, okay, this is how much I can expect this is going to cost per person or whatever it is. And so there's more friction, but the leads you're going to get are going to be highly qualified. Yep. Okay. And then Claudia, our team is bad at follow-up. Can your AI agent really take over the role completely, or do we still need a human to close the deal? So like I said, AI agents are very smart now. So they're going to get you very close to close the deal, meaning they're going to be able to answer all the questions that they have. Of course, we have to provide all that information to the AI agent. But yes, the AI agent is going to be able to respond a lot of the things. They're going to qualify them with any other questions. They can provide the menus. They're going to be able to send them the call booking links so they can set up a call with your events manager. So we get them as close to a sale as possible. Now, the reason that it's not possible to close a sale there is because you would need to structure your menus and your private events like if it was a catering order, like basically this is the menu, this is a room, this is the price, and they can book right then and there. If you have a system like that in your restaurant that you can do, and you have tables that you can separate specifically for those events that people can book, and you have a way of doing that and tracking that, then yes, you can definitely automate the whole process. But normally with private events, that's not the case, right? There's a back and forth to it. There's people wanting to do decorations, or they want a different type of menu or whatever it is. So there needs to be human interaction at the end of the day to be able to do this, okay? Now, if it's catering, we'll do a whole another presentation another day for catering. Then if you have online order for catering, yes, you can automate the whole process here, because it's not about lead gen, it's more about getting orders, right? So that would be a little bit different. But anyways, so that's it. I hope that answered your question. Okay, cool, guys. So that's it from me, guys. If you're interested, again, just scan the code there. We'll book a call. We'll look at your specific case and restaurant and venue and see what's happening and make sure that you guys get the most value and that you can start booking a ton more events. All right, guys, hope you got a lot of value from this. If you have any other questions, just you can email me or send me a message through social, whatever, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you want any info on the prompts and stuff like that, what we saw here, or the audiences, anything, just shoot me a message. All right, guys, thanks so much.